Have you ever felt like your heart is being pulled in two different directions at the same time? Like part of you wants to reach out and hold on tightly to someone you care about, but another part of you feels like running as far away as you possibly can. That's how a fearful avoidant feels during no contact. It's like being stuck in a storm, where the winds of wanting love clash with the thunder of fearing it. If you've ever wondered what goes on in the mind of someone with a fearful avoidant attachment style when they're in a period of no contact, let me take you there. It's a mix of emotions so deep and powerful that even they often struggle to make sense of it. Imagine a person standing on the edge of a cliff. They desperately want to take a step forward because the other side promises connection and warmth. But the ground is shaky and the fear of falling is overwhelming. That's the emotional reality of a fearful avoidant during no contact. They're caught in this push and pull cycle of craving closeness, but being terrified of it at the same time. No contact is like staring at the abyss. Silence feels like rejection, yet the space also feels strangely safe. It's complicated, messy, and heartbreaking. Now, let's dive deeper into what's going on behind the scenes. 1. The initial shock. Fear of abandonment takes over. When no contact starts, a fearful avoidant's first reaction is often panic. You know that feeling when you lose your phone, and for a moment, your world feels like it's falling apart. That's similar to what they feel. But it's not about a phone, it's about losing a connection that feels vital to their emotional survival. Their brain starts screaming, what if they never come back? What if I'm not enough? For someone with a fearful avoidant attachment style, abandonment is one of their deepest fears. They might replay old arguments or interactions, overanalyzing every little thing. Did they say something wrong? Did they push too hard? They're trapped in a loop of guilt and self-doubt, and it's exhausting. But here's the twist. While one part of them is terrified of being left behind, another part is almost relieved. Why? Because closeness feels risky. Deep down, they believe that love comes with pain, so the distance gives them a momentary sense of protection. It's like their fear of abandonment and fear of intimacy are wrestling inside them, and neither one is winning. 2. The overthinking begins, a tug of war in the mind. Fearful avoidants are professional overthinkers. During no contact, their mind becomes a battlefield of conflicting thoughts. I miss them so much. Maybe I should reach out. No, if I reach out, I'll look desperate. What if they've moved on? But what if they're waiting for me to say something? What if they think I don't care? It's exhausting. They overanalyze every detail of the relationship, replaying conversations, dissecting every text, and imagining worst-case scenarios. They want closure, but the idea of actually facing their emotions feels like walking through fire. So, they stay stuck in their heads, torn between wanting to fix things and fearing they'll mess everything up if they try. 3. The emotional roller coaster. Waves of longing and resentment. No contact isn't just quiet for a fearful avoidant. It's loud. Their emotions swing wildly from one extreme to the other. One moment, they're drowning in sadness, missing you so much it hurts. They remember the good times, the laughter, the feeling of being understood. Their heart aches for the connection they've lost. But then, almost out of nowhere, resentment bubbles up. They think, why should I be the one hurting? They're probably fine without me. Maybe they didn't even care as much as I did. It's a defense mechanism. Resentment helps them push away the pain of missing someone, even if it's only temporary. This emotional back and forth can make no contact feel unbearable. They're constantly bouncing between wanting to bridge the gap and justifying why staying apart is the right thing to do. 4. The walls come up. Avoidance as a shield. After a while, the fearful avoidance defensive side kicks in. To cope with the emotional chaos, they might start building walls. They convince themselves that they don't need anyone, that they're better off alone. They might even distract themselves with work, hobbies, or other relationships to avoid dealing with their feelings. This isn't because they don't care. In fact, it's the opposite. They care so much that the pain feels unbearable, so they shut it down. But deep inside, behind those walls, the longing is still there. It's just buried under layers of self-protection. 5. The hope and fear of reconnection. As time goes on, the fearful avoidant starts thinking about what might happen if no contact ends. The idea of reconnecting brings both hope and fear. The hopeful side imagines a happy reunion where everything is forgiven and the connection feels even stronger than before. They dream of hearing, "I missed you too," and feeling like the wait was worth it. But the fearful side is full of doubts. What if they've moved on? What if they don't feel the same way anymore? What if I open up and they hurt me again? This internal conflict keeps them stuck. They want to reach out, but the fear of rejection or failure holds them back. 6. How they finally process their emotions. For a fearful avoidant, healing during no contact is a slow process. It takes time for them to untangle their emotions and understand what they're really feeling. They might start journaling, talking to a therapist, or confiding in a trusted friend. Slowly, they begin to see the patterns in their behavior and understand why they feel the way they do. Over time, they might realize that their fear of intimacy and abandonment stems from past experiences, not necessarily the current relationship. This awareness can be the first step toward breaking free from the cycle and learning how to approach relationships in a healthier way. Conclusion: a journey of growth. No contact is an emotional whirlwind for a fearful avoidant. It's a time of intense self-reflection, conflicting emotions, and deep longing. But it's also an opportunity for growth. Through the pain and confusion, they have a chance to confront their fears, understand themselves better, and maybe just maybe learn how to love without fear holding them back. So, if you're dealing with someone who's fearful avoidant during no contact, remember this. It's not that they don't care. They care so much that it scares them. And if you're the fearful avoidant, be kind to yourself. Healing is a journey, and it's okay to take it one step at a time.